Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
Will we give you the courtesy of conversation?
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for everybody that sticks with us. Don't forget every Fridays, 7 p.m. Pacific time, the Friday Fix. And then 1 p.m. Sunday Pacific time is the Sunday Town Hall. Hello, Wesley. Thanks for joining us today. How are you doing?
Absolutely, man. I'm doing good. I know we just had a crazy speech last night from your guy. I guess this was a State of Union address right here that they dropped off. I'm thinking that this was a State of the Union. Yes, it was pretty crazy, man. So
yeah, it's pretty great. It was charismatic. You know, he got a lot of info out of there. Some of the stuff wasn't true. I mean, but some of it was. You know, he was basically he had to get up there and show off his trophies and what he's had done so far. You know what I'm saying? I think the speech was mostly to calm the American people down from all the the chaos and destruction he was doing. He got up there and he's pretty good. I mean, what's his name? Congressman Al Green got up there, started screaming with his cane. They kicked him out.
It felt like a you get a car, you get a car, you get a car moment kind of for me. You know what I mean, like he's trying to like show, oh, I'm nice to these different people, man. Come on, bro. You can't tell us that. Go ahead. Let's
you
get
got.
in.
You got to show what you achieved. I mean, he had
absolutely
the Lakin girls family up there, a couple people's family that were murdered by immigrants. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I get that, right? But American people get killed every day. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, what makes I mean, it's a tragedy anybody gets killed, but I mean, like, what makes these certain people that special? But
yeah,
they had the little black kid from Texas. He got to be Secret Service. That was pretty funny.
I mean, it made him Secret Service. I mean, it just to me, man, I'm not against that at all. That's those are all great things you do, but those are things you do behind closed doors a lot of times too as well. You don't do them. You use this as basically like a stunt stage for yourself. They're cool stunts, pretty much. I mean, and then I'm listening to all of his different policies and the different things that he's talking about. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. How you can convince the American people that rising costs on their backs is going to be helpful to them. I don't understand that. I mean, there's better ways of. I mean, you're such a great deal maker. Then why are only the people who are your 95% and lower classes of people, the 95% of America are going to be the ones who feel effects from this? Why haven't you made sure that big business has felt effects from this? It doesn't make sense. Like whatever deals you end up making, always help bigger business. You say it's good for America, but it's really business. Has nothing to really do with the American people at all. These are global businesses at the same time too. These people are invested globally. BlackRock, companies like this are invested globally. They're not just they're not just beholden to the United States. Yes, they may have leadership here, but they got interests everywhere. They understand where the money's going to go in the future. The United States is not going to be it. So what makes us think that they're going to hold on to our interest long term? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, he did say he did finally say he's like, hey, we're going to put in the bill, no tax on tips. No tax on overtime. And I'm like, well, it's not in there yet. But I mean, like, hey, if he says they're gonna put it in there, let's see them do it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's not in the initial bill. It's not there. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a bunch of hoopla. Like I'm saying, I feel this speech was just to keep the American people calm because everyone, because his polling numbers are low. They're pretty bad.
He said his polling numbers are the best they've ever been before in his life. This is what he's spitting out to the public. This,
of course,
the highest
that's what they're showing.
Polling numbers for any Republican. You know what I'm saying? This is what he's saying. And he's probably watching Quinnipiac. I can't remember the name of it. Quinnipiac or something like that. There's a poll that just comes out, and it's just basically a Republican leaning. Like Rasmussen is also a Republican leaning poll. These people, we know certain polls. Quinnipiac is the name of it. But anyway, the point of it is like it's just crazy to me that he's believing that these things are actually true
because that's all they're showing him.
Policies are unpopular.
That's all they're showing him. Like you think about before. He wasn't babied, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like these people don't want to get on his bad side, so they're going to show him whatever they need to show him. You know what I'm saying? To be cool. I mean, he made a couple weird comments. Or no, he was like, look, we're going to take the Panama Canal. Yeah, we're doing that. I was
They
like,
already they
damn.
he said he's taking Greenland. That's when they already took
Well,
Panama Canal.
he was
They've already
nice
done that
about. He was like, "Hey, Greenland, I would love for your
one
people to
way
vote."
or the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
This
He's
is
like,
what he
one way
said.
or another, we gonna
They've
get
already
you.
taken Panama. Panama's done. That's a done deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have because it was a business deal that happened already. It was already said. This has been weeks ago now that the Panama Canal deal has kind of already gone through, which is like it makes sense for us to do that. So it was a business deal at the end of the day. But the Greenland thing is going to be a little different. I don't think Greenland's going to just voluntarily come over and be a part of this kind of look at this wreckage over here right now. If you look at America, for where we are right now, it's wreckage bad.
I mean,
You know, what I mean, this
Greenland
is
got to
not
think about like, yo, what's gonna happen if they become part of America? That means we can go up there anytime we feel like it.
$12,000 tariffs. Cars are going to be raised by 12,000. The price cars $12,000. You know what I mean, on any imported cars that we're bringing into the country. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, that's crazy. I mean, imagine what the cars are going to be that are exported are going to cost. It's going to be ridiculous. They're basically forcing Americans into buying American cars.
And he
This
made
is
the
what they're
first
trying to do.
he made the first ever racial slur to Congress because he's like, I know people like the war to stop in Ukraine, huh? Oh, you like that, huh, Pocahontas? I was like, damn. Which is it's. I mean,
Yeah, and for what it is, you know, when he can't hold himself in, he is who he is. You know what I
yeah.
mean, he is the underbelly of America.
No,
That's who he
he's the
is.
not the underbelly. He's the reflection of America. It's
Oh
exactly
no,
what they
yeah, that
wanted.
too.
Yeah.
No, that too. I mean, but to me, those people are the underbelly. You know, those people are the ugly underbelly of what America is. Period. Plain and simple. I mean, they helped him catapult him back into the White House when he didn't deserve to be there at all. I mean, you tried a coup. I mean, no one. It's just crazy that you're sitting here in the same place where you sent your followers into to kill Congress members and you know what I mean and to hang Mike Pence at. It's crazy to me that you're back in here now. Only in America could
Not
this
really.
happen.
Not crazy to
Only in
me.
America. You know, what I mean, to me, it's
I talked to
nuts, man.
my coworker the other day or yesterday about it. I was like, look, the reason we're in this is because I mean he might as well run the country, Donald Trump, because the Democratic Party didn't have the spine and the backbone enough to throw the correct people in jail after they tried to overthrow the government. You gave them 4 years to plan something else, and they took over. So it is what
Mhm.
it is. Like it's no longer America anymore. There was a word this lady used. I sent you the video, but it's basically like how we're holding on to this old world that we think is still going to be here when all this is done, but it's not. You know what
You
I'm
think
saying?
so, huh?
Oh yeah, totally. Every time someone's like, "Oh, he's leaving after 4 years," I'm like, "I bet you $10 just so I can get paid
Unless he,
in the end."
you think that unless he passes away, you think he's going to continue on in office and try and stay there,
Yes,
or you think that
yes.
he's going to try to pass the reins on to whoever his next successor should be?
Why would he give up that power?
I don't know. I'm just asking the question. You know what I
No,
mean? I'm
he's
asking the
not. No,
question because
He's
I
not
got to see
leaving.
this thing.
He's not
And
leaving.
I feel like he's setting himself up to not have to leave either. Or we want
Exactly.
everyone to make sure everyone votes in person on the day of the. I mean, get out of here, man. No, that doesn't even make sense. This is craziness to even listen to
They're
him. What's
trying
he
to
gonna do?
pass a
Not
law.
accept the votes from the states who don't do that? It's just crazy to
They're
me.
trying to pass a law where he can run a third term, but make it so Obama can't run a third term. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, that'd be a hot one. Obama versus
Yeah.
Trump.
I think that would be the greatest. That would be probably one of the greatest battles in our history because
Yeah.
Obama is brilliant and Trump is not. But Trump is witty and quick and has good, quick, witty things to say at times. And I think Obama will bring out that piece of him that nobody else could do. He was
Yeah.
close to doing it with Joe Biden when he couldn't say. When he said stand back and stand by. It was close there. And then Kamala got him close a few times too because she was jabbing at him real good too, and he was getting close to saying some stuff about her as well too. I mean, you know, and she had him flabbergasted basically when he came out and it was like, oh, well, I saw it on TV. I saw it on TV that they said they're eating something. Oh my God, bro! Like, did you just say
I have a
that you
concept
saw
of
it
a
on
plan.
TV?
Yeah.
You have a concept of a plan. This is crazy to me, man. I mean, but this is where we
It's
are,
still
man.
one. It's still one.
Absolutely, man. But I got another one for us, man. I don't mean to move
No,
off
you're
to the
good.
subject at all, but I just feel like there probably needs to be some kind of conversation that we have about something else at this point in time because it's not making a whole lot of sense. What just happened last night? I didn't even really realize it was a State of the Union address. I had no clue that it was that.
Yeah, you
You know
got
what
to
I'm
do
saying?
it. They had to do it, bro. I'm telling you, just to calm the American people down. Because everyone's like, yo, what's going on? So he had to come out there and do his Trump thing.
Yeah.
All right. Supreme Court rejects Trump administration bid to avoid paying U.S. aid contractors. The Supreme Court on Wednesday backed a federal judge power to order the Trump administration to pay $2 billion to U.S. agencies for international development contractors, but did not require immediate payment. In doing so, the court on a 5-4 vote rejected an emergency application filed by the Justice Department after U.S. District Judge Amir Ali issued a series of rulings demanding the government unfreeze funds that President Donald Trump put on hold with an executive order. The court delayed acting on the case for a week, but in the meantime, the contractors have not been paid. So I guess this is
So
good. This is good for the American aid. It's crazy how, Supreme Court finally ruled against him on something he was trying to do. Let's see how he acts towards them. Amy Cohen Barrett, I guess, was one of the detractors. I mean, and then they're pointing out how she was looking after the address. She looked kind of shook.
so she's one of the detractors. Who else was it? Because there had to be two, one other. I mean, from their party. Was it Justice? Was it Chief Justice Roberts? Who was the other one? Does it say?
With Justice Alito writing that Ali did not have the unchecked power to compel the government to pay out $2 billion tax dollars. I'm stunned, Alito said. The other dissenter was Justice Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh.
So that was Roberts. Then Roberts came out and actually Roberts came out for America, pretty much. I mean, he can't. I mean, but sometimes you what you do is you give them the two people who they. I mean, Roberts has done this before. This isn't like a precedent for him. He's not setting precedent by doing this. He did this during Obamacare. He came out against Trump, or I believe for Obamacare as well too. And so, I don't know if it was Trump actually was in office or not. I know that he came out against the Republicans for Obamacare, not striking down Obamacare or the mandates and stuff in Obamacare. So it's to me, maybe those two will be people who actually have some sense of normalcy for America, want America to be a normal place, or maybe they're just people who they stuck out there just to make sure to get it paid. Because those were contracts that people, like you said, already or work for, they already had done. So if this is work you've already done, then you should be paid for it. Everyone knows that. That's not something that's just like, that's not an abnormal thing. That's not irregular or anything like that. So it's just normal for people to actually have to be paid for work that they've done. I think Trump is used to not paying people for work that they've done. This is something that he's had a history of doing. So, I don't really know.
It's crazy how there's a lot of people out here that just want to watch the destruction of other people. But I mean, like, that's kind of the American way. Like, people didn't come to colonize America with good faith, like, oh, we're gonna live here all together and do everything. No, they, rape, pillage, and did whatever they wanted to do. So I mean, you have a lot of those people, and then their descendants grew up and wanted to live like that and do like that. So it's just this is the way America is. I'm surprised they've been holding it at bay for so long. But it's going to be crazy to see his reaction to this. I mean, is he going to let it slide? Is he going to get on True Social and say something crazy about the Supreme Court? Like, you know what? They need to go too.
I mean, who knows? He might. I think it's going to be bigger rulings than this that kind of get him, because I mean, you're not going to win them all. I mean, he shouldn't, at least. You never know. But you're not going to win them all. I think he'll let this go because these were people who actually needed to be paid. This is work they've already done, contracts that were already signed. You can't just freeze their money now. That's that's basically saying that we would America would basically fold on our debt obligations, not pay our debt obligations. We've never been like that as a country. It knocks our AAA or our AA or wherever we're at now credit rating down. So I mean, but
we've never been a lot of stuff in this country, and in the last 40 days we've seen we are a lot of that stuff now in this country.
Absolutely. I got one right here. BlackRock strikes $23 billion deal to place Panama Canal ports under American control. The Hong Kong-based conglomerate that operates ports near the Panama Canal has agreed to sell shares of its units that operate the ports to a consortium including BlackRock Inc. after President Trump alleged Chinese interference with the operations of the critical shipping lane. In a press release, CK Hutchinson Holdings said Tuesday that it would sell all shares in Hutchinson Port Holdings or all shares in Hutchinson Port Group Holdings in a deal valued at $22.8 billion. The two units hold 80% of the Hutchinson Ports Group that operates 43 ports in 23 countries, including 2 of the 4 major ports that exist along the Panama Canal. The deal would give the BlackRock consortium control over 43 ports in 23 countries, including Mexico, the Netherlands, Egypt, Australia, Pakistan, and elsewhere. The consortium comprised of BlackRock Global Infrastructure Partners and Terminal Investment Limited will acquire 90% interest in Panama Ports Company, which owns and operates the ports of Balboa and Cristobal in Panama, according to the filing. So basically, he went in there and strong-armed, wrestled away, I should say, control from a group that was based in Hong Kong, which is controlled by China. So that's kind of, I mean, you know, they do have an influence there. There's a sphere of influence in that kind of a situation where you have a company that's based out of a satellite, you know, city or whatever you want to call Hong Kong inside of your country. You're going to have more. There's going to be more, you know, bilateral kind of conversations with those groups and kind of making that your port. So I get where they're coming from. I don't think there was a negative thing for us. I think a good business deal is never a bad thing. I think when you start using military as a means to getting a business deal done, that's another thing. But at the same time, we act like this is good for America. Is it? I mean, it's better for America that American companies have this, but the American people, we could have done this and with a sovereign wealth fund and had America, we were actually making money off this ourselves instead of letting BlackRock do it. That owned all these ports. America could have owned them. You know what I mean? Like, why are we? It's like we're using our military to make deals for you know, private companies.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what America's owned by now. Like we need to just get on to that. That's what this $5 million coming to America, be a citizen thing is to let people that own businesses come into America, open up businesses, not have any regulations on whatever they're doing, and you know, basically strong arm and control the American people. That's kind of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's going to sit down. You're going to take it. You know what I'm saying? Because you had your chance to fight it, you chose not to. You know what I'm saying? You tried it to be you wanted to be ill-informed, and now you're all going to pay the price. The thing in Panama, he was like, yeah, we gave it to Panama for $1. It shouldn't be owned by China, so we're going to take it back. BlackRock is a company. They're the reasons that you can't afford a home. People don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? They made it here in America where you can't buy a home. You can pay rent for $4,000, but you can't get a loan.
I think his name is Lawrence Finch or Larry Finch, one of the two.
He said people in America are going to rent everything and they're going to like it. I mean, you kind of rent everything now. Like, and I pointed this out to a lot of people too. I'm like, look, you don't own any of the media you listen to. You're watching this on a streaming service. You're listening to this on a streaming service. You don't own any more DVDs anymore. You don't own any more CDs, tape cassettes, none of that stuff. Everything you do is streaming. If you don't pay for your internet, there's nothing you can do anymore. You know what I'm saying? You barely own your land. You barely own your home if you don't pay the tax on it. You don't own your car if you don't get the tabs for it.
Yep. I mean, and at the same time, too, we have to look at it from this perspective as like this is when you look at like you said, JP Morgan has come out with a plan. Them and another private equity firm have come out with a plan basically where they're going to build entire communities, huge communities, thousands and thousands of homes, and they'll be like forever rent homes. This is the idea that they came with. Instead of going from where we had Kamala Harris talking about building 3 million to 5 million homes that could be bought by, you know, Americans, single family homes could be only bought by American citizens. Now they're talking about, you know what we're going to do for you? We're going to build thousands and thousands of homes that you can never buy. You only can forever rent.
Yeah.
And they'll control that rent wherever they want to control that rent at. And they'll make it so that, you know what, and you'll like it too, because they'll make you believe that you're a part of this some way, shape, or form. Oh, we're helping you out too, because you don't want rent control, do you? That's socialism. That's communism. Then you'll go for it. And that's why we have 77 million people in this country who went for the lie that was, this is a better administration for the American people. And you're seeing exactly what they're about. They made you clap and applaud that we got the Panama Canal. No. BlackRock got the Panama Canal. Them and their investors got that. And most of their investors, or a lot of them, are probably outside this country. Don't care nothing about you. And they're going to automate your ass up out of a job as soon as they fucking can. Excuse my language.
Well, I mean, after a while, it's like you can't blame anybody anymore. Like they said, oh, it's the DEI hiring. You know, okay, cool, you fired all them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's the past administration. They're all gone. You done changed everything. There's no one else left to blame but yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame the immigrants because they're in hiding. They're not coming out to work. That's the whole thing. I think he played his cards too quick. You know what I'm saying? Because when things start to fall apart, who are you going to blame?
He's going to blame somebody else, and he's going to make sure everyone else understands it was Biden's fault. It was Obama's fault. They were weak, and this is why this is the way it is now, instead of all the things he's actually done.
I mean, going back to when he's trying to blame Obama, it's kind of funny. Like, bro, Obama ain't been around in like 8 years. Like, and you was president after him. So everything you did after him is on you. You can blame Joe Biden all you want, right? But you were still there. Everyone, they were still undermining Joe Biden's presidency. There were still people that try to
Absolutely.
overthrow the government that were undermined. That's why America got so fucked up. Excuse me, messed up in the first place. Because you had people that tried to overthrow the government that were still in the government undermining his administration, and he was just taking it, and they were just letting it happen. Like me, if somebody tried to overthrow my government, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's going to Guantanamo Bay. Every last one of you. Prove that. Prove that you didn't. Yep. Prove that you didn't do it.
Get Mo.
Yeah, and
Figure
that's
him
why I
out.
say,
Figure it out from there.
yep, figure it out from there. But that shows the Democrats are weak, and that's why they lost the country. And America's not America no more. It's going to be whatever he want to call it. Just like he's like, oh yes, in the Gulf of America.
He wanted to make sure he put that in there, didn't he?
He said it a couple times. Oh yes, and we're going to name a park right off the coast of the Gulf of America.
Yeah, this guy, man. One last one, real quick here.
Yeah.
U.S. rejects alternative Gaza reconstruction plan proposed by Arab leaders. The Trump administration has rejected a long-awaited plan for the reconstruction of Gaza endorsed by Arab leaders, saying the president stands by his own vision, which includes expelling the territory's Palestinian residents and transforming it into a Riviera owned by the United States. The current proposal does not address the reality that Gaza is currently uninhabitable, and the residents cannot humanely live in the territory covered in debris and unexploded ordnances. National Security Council spokesman Brian Hughes said in a statement Tuesday night, President Trump stands by his vision to rebuild Gaza free from Hamas. We look forward to further talks to bring peace and prosperity to the region. The post-war plan for the Gaza Strip, which was proposed by Egypt and calls for Hamas to cede power to an interim administration until a reformed Palestinian Authority can assume control, would allow its roughly 2 million Palestinians to remain, in contrast to Trump's proposal. Speaking in Cairo, PA President Mahmoud Abbas pledged the general elections will be held in West Bank, Gaza, and occupy East Jerusalem for the first time in nearly 2 decades if circumstances are suitable. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu still refuses to say what he envisions for Gaza's post-war future, except to say that he endorses Trump's plan for a different Gaza, and he thinks neither the PA nor Hamas should govern Gaza. Wow. They said basically 53 billion proposed by Arab nations calls for rebuilding Gaza by 2030.
Yeah, and they're like, no, that's not the plan, yo. We expect, think about it, that's some monstrous stuff. I mean, it is what it is. Think about it. Russia's expanding, Israel's trying to do expansion, and then America's trying to do expansion. You see, colonization is not ended, and they're gonna. So this is what I figure is gonna happen. They're rejecting that money, and if they're like, well, no, we're gonna let those people go back there, they're gonna go to war with the rest of the Arab nation. They're gonna figure out something. They're gonna have to, yeah. Because that's the humane thing to do. Like, hey, we're gonna rebuild this and let them take care of themselves. And they're like, whoa, we didn't kill all them people for nothing. Don't lift up the buildings. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
we didn't drop all these bombs on all these buildings for nothing. We didn't blow up everything in sight for no reason. They did this on purpose. It's inhumane to go back in there after I blew up everything. After I killed all these, there's all these dead bodies in there. And
they don't want to live there. Look at the buildings. Look at the dirt on the ground. Look, it's smoggy. There's still crazy. Bomb on the ground. No,
you know what I'm saying?
They don't want this beachfront property that we already got the still measure.
Freeze all aid, and go in there and drive them out by starving them out.
Yeah,
this is what America has done. This is what the United States is good with. Israel has stopped all aid, all food, everything from going inside there, and America okayed it too. We went and we were good with that. This tells us who we are as a people. It's not act like this is not who we are.
And if you protest it, if you protest it in college, you're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Kicked out the country.
Yep, and kicked out the country. We're going to send you to Israel so you can go get sexually assaulted in their jails.
Crazy, man. And they're good with sexually assaulting you in Israeli jails too. Let's not
and he said any illegal protest. What's an illegal protest to you, sir?
I've never heard of an illegal protest before in my life. I guess you have to.
You got to get a permit.
That's what he's gonna say. If you ain't got a permit, you're illegally protesting. We're gonna go ahead and knock you down.
And it's not just for the colleges. Watch, they're gonna do something foul to somebody, and people gonna hit the streets, and they're gonna let the police shoot them up, and everyone's gonna watch.
You heard what he was talking about with the police last night too, and he was saying, "Hey, man, I want to give them, passes where they're complete immunity." This is what this dude is crazy.
It's authoritarian.
This dude is crazy.
It's authoritarian. Yeah,
and I think that these people are good with it, and they're good with it because this is how wrapped up up his.
Well, they're good with it until it's them having to protest and come out there. then they're going to be shook. That's the whole thing that's going to happen, right? When all the protesters are European American and they go out there and get they butts whooped by the police and shot and killed, then they'll be like, "Damn, we messed up."
It's gonna be a while before that happens because right now their attention's on everyone who's not.
I give it till the summer.
You think so?
Yeah.
The summer.
I give it to the people think I'm joking. I'm like, hey, it's gonna be a crazy summer because look, none of this is gonna stop. Think about it. The wintertime, it's gonna be too cold to protest. My mom says that. He's like, yeah. She's like, they keep them out there until they do some stuff right before winter because them Negroes ain't marching in the cold. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's gonna be a crazy summer because by the summer hits, everything's gonna kind of like not balance itself out, but all the effects are gonna take place.
Yep, and then you're gonna have if the gas prices go up, then summertime gas prices normally already go up. So now you're gonna have a coupling, a doubling of that effect. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, my egg lady just hit me up like, yo, I got those. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm gonna holler at
you. How many you got?
Yeah,
how many?
20, 18 for $20. I got you. I'm on my way.
This is crazy, bro. All right, man. Let's
go
ahead.
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. We're gonna keep you up to date. We'll see you next time.
Peace.